Hi, I'm Amanda Brinkman from Deluxe and the Small Business Revolution.
Hi, I'm Casey Cox from Nooma, Searcy, Arkansas, Season 4.
Okay, so I have to say you were such an inspiration for Season 4, and the story that you and Nicole told through your business. Actually, in episode 8 of Season 4, we kind of go around the room and we're talking about the impact and inspiration that each of you are able to offer the next generation of kids growing up in Searcy and how they see you as an example. And, you know, I talked about how you and Nicole really are inspiring other little girls to realize that you can have ambitions, you can have drive, you can build a business. Did those words resonate with you? Do you see that as your role within Searcy and beyond?
Yes, I have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl, so I definitely see that. Annalie is my daughter, so I see that in her eyes. And her being able to come with me at work and then see that I can go home, grocery shop, you know, take them to school, pick them up from school. It can be done. So yes, it's a balance and you have to figure that out for your family, but yes, being okay with that is important.
Well, I think, you know, society we're in this weird juxtaposition where we are encouraging women to have careers and to have drive and ambition and go for, you know, build something yourself, but we never really take into account that requires time, and that means time is going to come from somewhere. And if you're a mother, that just naturally means that it's going to come from your time at home. And there's a lot of guilt that comes from that, I think, both self-imposed as well as from others who haven't made the same decisions about their career. How do you talk to yourself about that, and how do you work through it as you're thinking about the kind of time investment it takes to build Nooma, especially in the light of knowing what a powerful blessing Nooma is to other people?
It's a lot, and I think it's evolved. I think I discover different things. I talk to my husband a whole lot, but I ask myself all the time if there's something that I can't make or go to. I have guilt if I can't take them to school or pick them up. It bothers me. But I've pinpointed, okay, those are 2 things I want to be able to take them and pick them up that's important to me. Okay, so can I do something to plan around that? But I have to be able to be honest with myself, and then I have to be able to sit down with them and say, hey, they're 14, 11, and 10. Does this bother you? Are you okay with this? And almost every time they'll say, Mom, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of what you're doing. And that's huge. So I think talking with them is a big deal.
I think it is too, and I think about being honest about it. And I had a friend who actually advised me when I was early into the travel intense time of my career, and we had a young daughter. They said, never apologize for needing to get on a plane. Instead, you talk about it in terms of, Mommy has worked really hard for these opportunities, and going to do this speech or this meeting is a privilege. I have earned this opportunity, and not saying I'm sorry, because we almost, I think, sometimes as mothers accidentally tell our children to see that it's negative we're doing these things. And you're right, I think our kids actually see it the opposite. They're proud of us. They see what we're building. And whether you're raising young girls or boys, in your case both, it's important for them to see powerful women going after what they want and driving towards that success and building something for themselves. So.
And I think it's important for them to see you go through the process of that, because I think a lot of times they'll see the end result, or when you might be up on a pedestal or receive an award. But I think they need to understand, just like Mindy talked about this morning, that it is something that you go and you work really, really hard for. My kids don't. I hope that I am teaching them that they should not have the expectation that they're just going to be able to go and do things just because of where they live or opportunities they might have. They have to work for it every day, a little bit of movement every day. And you're right, we set the groundwork by how we talk about it. So one thing we talk about in our house, and we're practicing that in one of our classes, we'll say, why do we look at failure as failure? Why can't failure be practice? Right? So like they'll say something, I'll say, well, I hope they'll tell me something, I said, good job for failing, because that means you tried, right? So I think if we have that conversation and change that narrative, it's important.
Oh, you couldn't be more right. One of the things I'm always struck by when I talk to entrepreneurs is that they feel the same kind of guilt around time away from their kids as people in corporate America or really anything, or any role. And it's just so amazing though, because I personally, I don't see it as them being away from their kids. I see it as that next generation learning exactly what you're talking about, incredible work ethic, that you can build something, but it doesn't just happen overnight. And that's part of what we want to do through this series too, is show kind of the truth behind building a business. Because I think in America we're very we're very taken with this kind of VC funding, Silicon Valley startup mentality, and that is not what the majority of small businesses look like in our country. They're hardworking parents who want to build something great for their community and want to be a great example and provide for their family. And so that's what we always want people to really realize through these episodes, is that the struggle is real, but it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so if you haven't seen the Nooma episode, which is so incredible, it's one of the most successful businesses that we featured, who is kind of ready to get to that next stage. You will want to watch it, and you'll be very impressed, as we were with Casey and Nicole. They were ready for every piece of advice that we sent them. They were taking notes. We'd give them a to-do, and they would have it done like a week early. I mean, it's just their unbelievable drive.
Thanks.
So.
Thank you.
It was such a blessing to work with you. So watch their episode. You can catch it in season 4 of The Small Business Revolution, which is streaming on Hulu, Prime, and smallbusinessrevolution.org.